guys, it's Amy with A to Z Stamping, and today I wanted to show you guys the May Flowers Framelits dies and how they work. So this set of framelits here, it comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 total, and 7 of them, these right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this one, they are framelits. So they frame an image from the, let me find the stamp set here. They coordinate with the Falling Flowers stamp set. So these are called May Flowers Framelits dies, but they coordinate with the Falling Flowers. And those 7 dies that I just pointed out that are framelits, they frame 7 of the images, and I'll show you those in a second. And then there are 3 more, 1, 2, and this one, that I guess would be more like thinlits, and they cut out images on their own. So let me show you this big giant one here. Cuts this guy out, and let's see, of course I have it with a white background. Let me grab a color so you can see it better. Okay, so you see that? So this is really neat, this one right here, and this especially looks cool. You could cut this out with glimmer paper. I've seen that done. So neat. So that's that big giant one. Next we have the leaf here. So it cuts out leaves that look like that. And then the third one is a flower, and actually I was going to show you, I do recommend that you have our die brush whenever you're using a thinlit, because when you cut them out, they're like this, and the paper's all kind of stuck in there really well. I ran this through my Big Shot just with white cardstock. So you take this when you're done, and your brush, and you just brush right over it. And trust me, it's not hurting your die at all. But it gets all those little pieces out, and it makes it so that this pops right out. And then those few little extra pieces, you can either use your paper piercing tool, or just pop the rest of them out, or you could just keep brushing over the top of it. But some of them, especially that bigger flower, the die works really well. And so here is the third one. Isn't that so pretty? And I've used that on a scrapbook layout. I want to say maybe a month or 2 ago, I used these flowers. Isn't that pretty? So those are the 3 thinlits with the set. 1, 2, 3. But then you've also got all these framelits. So on the stamp set, I'll show you each piece. Okay, so first we have this leaf here, and it corresponds with this leaf right here. So the purpose of these are so that you can stamp them and then cut them out. So let me grab my paper. So here's the leaf, and I just stamped them in garden green. And I'm going to move the stamp set over here so you can see it. Scoot it back a little. All right, so that's this leaf up here. Next we have this one, which cuts out this flower right here, this big flower, so that's pretty. Next we have this bigger one here, and that cuts out this flower right here. See that? Isn't that pretty? I know I keep saying isn't that pretty, but really they're pretty, they're flowers. Okay, next we have this big giant green leaf, which corresponds with this stamp, and you would get that. We've got this guy right here, which is this. That cuts out that right there. And then this flower corresponds with this one to get that. And finally, the last one's this little kind of circle guy, and it cuts out this guy right here. So you see it does leave a border around the stamped images, but this is really neat for when you want to add dimension to your cards or your pages, because you can cut these out and then you can use dimensionals to pop them up. I know some people just cut stuff out by hands, but this really saves you time from having to do that. But there's another cool element that Stampin' Up! Has added recently, and I wanted to show you guys. So let's say you are going to stamp an image. So let's do this flower right here. We're going to do this one. So do you see how the stamp has this little bump sticking out? And they're all like that. And all of them that have a framelit, not all of them, most of them, have these little bumps sticking out. And so that's because if you've had framelits or thinlits for a long time, you know it's almost impossible to figure out which way it goes to line it up. So you want to make sure that little bump is at the top or the bottom or side. Just remember where it's at. All right, let me grab some ink here. Just going to grab some rose red ink. And I need a piece of paper. Okay, so I'm going to ink that up. I'm just going to stamp it right here. All right, pretty. Okay, let me clean that off before I forget. Now, it left a little mark up there. That's okay because we're cutting it out, and that little mark is actually from the little bump. Now, when I take the framelit, which is this one, it also has the little bump on top. So now I know this was the top and I line it up and it lines up perfectly. So when I run it through my Big Shot, it's all ready to go. Have any of you ever spent like hours trying to figure out how to line up your dies? I have, if you've had these for a long time, but I've noticed most of them that came in last year's catalog and this year's catalog, they have that. Then I would just put it on there, put my top cutting plate. My cutting plates are very scratched up, and that's okay. That doesn't hurt anything. And then I would run this through my Big Shot. Oh. Seriously, guys, as I say that, and then I mess it all up. Okay. You can use the magnetic platform. I just have the regular platform right now in, and if you use the magnetic platform, that holds that in place a lot better. All right, so I'm going to run that through. All right, and grab it out the other side. And there it is. See, all cut out and perfect. So this is actually a really cool framelit set to own, especially though, even if you don't own the Falling Flowers stamp set, I think that this one is worth owning just for these 2 flowers and this leaf. I mean, seriously, guys, look at that. So cool. So anyway, I hope you found this short little video helpful on the May Flowers Framelits dies. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Find me on Facebook, A2Z Stamping. Thanks, guys. Bye.